Hi there, and welcome to my next video on my YouTube channel, Unapologetic with Lorelei. It's quite windy out here, and I hope my microphone is going to uh, hold the wind, the sound of the wind, anyhow, because I really would love to continue my walks here in nature all through the winter too, anyhow, because it's a great feeling to be in nature, no matter which season. And that brings me to my thing that I wanted to talk with you about today is about, did you ever feel yourself shrinking over time, shrinking for all kinds of reasons, accepting things while you didn't really want to accept, or playing nice while you really didn't want to play nice because you certainly did not agree with something, and all for the sake of, because it's necessary at that time for to gain stability in your life. For me, for the children, because stability and my children, they were both linked to each other in certain places of time, certain moments in time, rather. I'm sorry, my English is not native English, and I think you get that by now. But I'm talking to you here about with sincerity and with love, and I hope you stay with me for that, and you can hear past my stumbling over my words, or perhaps even using the wrong kind of words. But the main issue really is here. I don't know if you've done it or if you're going through it, by shrinking more than what's healthy for you, and especially over time. You're going to feel the consequences of that. And it's high time that you can stop shrinking and speak out your voice. That's anyhow what I learned I had to do, because I was shrinking way beyond my time, and it's not even in my nature. But as I said, sometimes we have to do what we have to do. But before I'll talk more, I'm going to flip the screen and share with you the beautiful nature where I am at this particular moment. I love being here, and I love to share it with you. So bear with me, I'm going to flip the screen, and we'll talk more. Right, and here I am on the other side of the screen. Thank you for still being here. I hope my topic for today, well, maybe hopefully for you it doesn't resonate, but maybe it does. And maybe it's about time you hear certain words about, and knowing you're not alone in this, because we all tend to shrink ourselves, I guess, somewhere along the line. Or maybe perhaps not, but I certainly had to in certain moments in my life. And I mean, the shrink, what I'm talking about is the toning down, the playing small, and sometimes even you feel like you have to apologize for even being here. Let me see, because I think I'm walking myself here into a stuck thing. Let me see if there is still a path. Uh, I don't think so. Let me see. Oh, I have to crawl under the tree, but that's another thing. Let me see here. Oh, it's a beautiful tree, by the way. Yes. Anyhow, well, this tree certainly didn't tone itself down by the looks of it. But I mean, I've done toning myself down, apologizing for numerous of things that I never really thought I had to apologize for. But not because I felt weak, but because I had to, for certain reasons, for practical reasons mainly, and well, I must say it cannot last forever, because it's damaging to shrink too much and for too long, and especially when you realize it's been too long, you certainly will gather some strength and say, well, this is it. I'm going to change things around here for myself now, because this is not normal anymore, and I'm getting more and more further away from myself. Now, I found for myself out that there's different kind of shrinking, different kind of ways to shrink yourself and to tone yourself down. And one of them is actually, you can shrink or tone things down strategically. What I mean with that is that you have to, you know, observe things, and waiting for the right moments, and things like that, which I have done as well. And but there are other times that you have to comply and just tone down and just hide your feelings or your thoughts or your desires. And actually, I did both for many years. And um, and I must say, it did work. It did work for a while, for a long while actually. But slowly but surely, I've built a wall around me, like a, well, I would even dramatically call it even a cage around me, and I didn't even notice it. until I really want to read again. And that was a lot had to do with me starting to live in the forest and start to live a cabin life in the forest. And I felt more and more the need of spending time outdoors. And that's when you really feel that things are different than within my small survival cage. That's what I call it, a survival cage. And I used to play like a humble role, and because that's what the culture where I live seem to value so much. I have another name for it as well, but I won't be doing that. I don't want to bash not the country where I live in. But and I did it for the children, and as I said before, for a sense of stability. But I realize now that no matter how much I shrank, it'll never be enough for any of them, and not for the world where I'm moving around in, and or even for me, it's just never good enough. No matter how toned down you are, and humble, and kind, and you know, uh, putting yourself in the background, it just never seems to be enough. And I'm 63 now, and I feel it so clearly that my time is just too precious to keep playing small. I just don't want to do it anymore. And of course, there's some people around me that are going to really, yeah, protest against it, and they don't know what's happening, and wow, what am I doing, and why have I changed so much. And I don't know. What I can say to these people is just I'm gonna figure things out for myself first, and as soon as I found out, I will tell them, or not. It depends on who they are. And but it's one thing, I'm not going to apologize anymore for existing and for being who I am, for the values I stand for, and I would just bear the consequences for it. That's just one of those things. But I think I will be able to handle the consequences more than I will be able to handle shrinking too much, giving up too much for myself. And perhaps you recognize this. Uh, Perhaps you also notice from yourself that you have been doing that for so much, and maybe you get some strength out of this and say, well, let's just not do that anymore, because what are we doing? What are we doing actually? It's just so unhealthy at the end. So I think all in all, shrinking is also not a failure. You mustn't be angry with yourself for it, because in the end it's not a failure. It's a way of survival. But there must be coming an end to the survival part, and you have to realize that for yourself, I believe, because I think I stayed longer in a survival mode than what was necessary. And okay, we all have to survive, but it's different whether you have to survive a crisis or whether you have to stop surviving and start living and making other kinds of plans, and not doing it with the same knot in your stomach that you've been doing it for so long. That's what it is. There, I think it's the knot in your stomach that tells you like something's still off. But you can sometimes tell your stomach to ease down because it's no longer relevant anymore to slow down, or to not to slow down. To slow down is necessary. I mean, to tone yourself down. Sorry. But another part of it is that you don't have to tell people straight away your plans, and you're changing things around, or you're turning things around, and you want to tackle things differently from now on. You don't have to share that. Keep it to yourself, and work your way through it, because otherwise it will bring other people's energy into it, and you still won't be doing it completely as who you are. That's what I believe. So it's all, I think, still about strategy. It sounds like a business, but it's not. It's still a strategy for yourself in your personal life. Perhaps you have a business, you can use strategy as well, but I'm talking here on my channel mainly for private reasons, for to share things. That is what my channel is about, to share things, my experiences, my life lessons, and just hope that it resonates to you, or it inspires you, or it can empower you, or whatever it is. And perhaps even you like to share it with me, because it gives me the feeling that I'm being heard, and being listened to, which is always a nice feeling. I'm not obsessive with it, but it's nice to be appreciated sometimes. And I love doing this, talking with you about life and the life lessons, and whilst being here in this beautiful piece of nature. I'm so lucky because today is a beautiful blue sky. Yesterday it was so grey and a very hard storm. And so yes, it's nice to be here at this moment. But anyhow, if you catch yourself shrinking or apologize for being here who you are or doing what you are, or playing small, just simply ask yourself why. Why am I still doing it, or why am I doing it in the first place? And then you have to, yeah, be a little bit courageous and speak yourself out. Like, am I ready to speak myself out? Actually, am I ready to see things clear? How far can I handle this clearness in that I see for myself now? And how ready am I to speak myself out? Because believe it or not, that voice inside of you that you've been holding for so long, and for me it's even decades. Not to be dramatic about it, but it has been decades, and I believe it's time. It's really time. So by saying that, I do hope you take very good care of yourself and your loved ones. And think about this one. Are you doing your thing and exactly to who you are? Or are you toning yourself down for all kinds of reasons and sometimes excuses, and sometimes it became irrelevant? Anyhow, I hope you can sort it out for yourself, and let me know in the comments anything what you'd like to say. And I hope to see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want, or like my video. And if not, if you just want to enjoy nature and what I've been showing you, and just to listen, it's fine too. Whatever suits you best. So I'll be hopefully seeing you in my next video. Bye.